this in. Thank you. Let me take a look. Suggestions. Yeah, you guys should send me a video about Andrew Tate. The top G got released. I think this is a Black conservative perspective. We can take a look at some stuff real quick. Let's see. I'm gonna have to switch this damn thing so ads can stop playing on my damn video. Switch it to my main channel. Let's see. I never watched anime before. Anime's pretty good. Promised Neverland manga was worse. Oh shit. Anime, so it didn't have a chance. Wow. How do you start off so strong, bro? They started off so strong. Oh man. That shit was such a good season 1, man. It made me really think like, all right, what the fuck is happening? What's the real world look like? And they just fucked it up. They messed it up. Apparently there's some new information with Andrew Tate, and I would like to actually review it with you guys. I'm a fan of Andrew Tate. A lot of people, they get upset at some of the things he says, but I think that they take it out of context. There's a lot of comedy in the things that he says, right? But whatever. Let's check it out, see what's new with him. You're going to be checking out Black Conservative Perspective? Let's take a look.
You need to at least be their hero to a degree. This is where liberalism wins. I don't think a lot of conservatives understand that liberalism's sexy. You do drugs, you run around, you burn stuff. It's cool. You get a party. This is what a conservative do.
They about to take every clip out of context of this man. I know Black Conservative Perspective ain't going to do him foul, but there's going to be a lot of clips that's taken out of context.
Stay home, stay home, stay. It's boring, right? At least what they don't understand is that conservatives will sit there and go, he's a terrible role model because he has all these pretty girls in this fast car and he's a materialistic. That's the reason I can actually help the world. That's the reason young boys will listen to me. You said it yourself, 14, 15-year-old boys, they'll look at my life and go, okay, I want to listen to this guy. They don't want to listen to me if I sit behind a desk and read Republican Bill 3.
He has a point. He does have a point in this. Like when it comes to the youth, they want to see action in order for them to listen. Shoot, I was like that as a young kid, man. You got to show me. I didn't train I'm over here messing. I didn't train under any martial arts instructor that couldn't whip my ass. We had to put the gloves on and you got to show me, right? So like when you see these kids and you try to give them advice and it's like, you don't have the things that I want. Someone like Andrew Tate who does, he's going to have more of an effect when he's telling them, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. That's haram, right? Maybe you should stay away from this kind of stuff.
308. I don't read that crap. I don't know. And they don't care. And I also think that especially in the masculine realm, we certainly like to see people lead by absolute and our example.
In January, when I was thrown in a jail cell, the media reported and told the world that I was a terrible person. They said that I hurt people and I make a lot of money from criminal enterprise. And here we stand 7 or 8 months later, and I've not seen a single victim on the news. I don't know if you have. I've seen lots of girls sticking up for me, lots of people defending me. I've not seen a single person stand up and say that I have hurt them. Not one. It's very exhausting to continue to perpetuate lies. It's very hard to keep lies afloat when you have no actual evidence. We've been completely innocent since the beginning of this, and I have to give absolute faith to the Romanian judicial system for finally making the right decision and letting us free. I'm sure in the end we'll be absolutely exonerated, and everybody who was pushing these lies and reporting things on repeat without any substantial evidence are going to have to analyze within themselves why they decide to try.
I go front. If like all this stuff is dropped and it's found to be he's completely innocent, there's a lot of people that got an answer for a lot of disgusting things they were saying. Even as of recently, a lot of big channels, Abba and Preach, who get to skate away. They skate away with hypocrisy. Why is no one talking about them false striking channels or just sending out a copyright strike at all? Like they said they never would do. This is crazy, but I get it because it's someone you don't like, just pearly thing, so you don't have to acknowledge it. I feel you.
I destroy people's lives purely for views. I've done nothing wrong. God knows I've done nothing wrong. In my heart, I know I've done nothing wrong. I think the people at home who with a functioning brain understand we've done nothing wrong because nobody has yet to identify a single victim which is saying that we've done anything to them since the beginning of this entire process.
I said, I plan on doing a video or stream with anybody. I got some interviews coming out, What do you mean? Like collabs with people call in? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Once again, absolute respect to the judge, respect to Romania, respect to the Romanian judicial system. I look forward to being completely exonerated in due time. Thank you.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about the so-called top G, Andrew Tate, who was spending a lot of time on the top bunk in a Romanian.
Oh, man, looking fresh. He got the little look at the haircut with the chain showing.
Jail cell without being formally charged with any type of crime under suspicion of trafficking and other allegations as well too. Okay. And he finally got released, I think due to public pressure, because a lot of people saw that, hey, the guy has been accused of awful things that, a lot of people disagree with. But you can't just hold him in a jail cell without actually formally.
Which is crazy. That should be like the main point that everyone was speaking on. The fact that you just holding him and with nothing, you have nothing, and you just going to hold him. That's crazy.
Charging him with a crime. He was then released and placed on house arrest and eventually charged with crimes, related to human trafficking and grape, right? And he now basically is awaiting his trial, and he has received some good news, as he's actually been released from house arrest, and he has taken kind of a victory lap in regards to his release from house arrest, because finally a judge has kind of ruled in his favor. And again, he's
okay. So that could be like a domino effect, meaning that probably for the whole thing, right? If they're just releasing him from house arrest, then it could be a domino effect that, hey, we was wrong. That could be a huge possibility.
Taking a victory lap over this. Take a look.
I spent 3 months in a jail cell, in a dungeon, with cockroaches sharing my blanket. 3 months. Then I finally got released. 7 months, I've been locked in my house. And today a judge decided to let me go. I want everybody at home to understand exactly why that is. Up until now, all of the imprisonment and the deprivation of my liberty had nothing to do with evidence. It wasn't about evidence in a case file. It was the Romanian judicial system trying to decide if, one, I am a public danger, or two, I am a flight risk. And to be fair to them, I am not emotional, I am a professional, even when I am suffering. And I understand as an international man of
Top G. He said, give gives misogynist advice that gives young men like as well. Hold on. A guy that gives horrible misogynist advice that young men like as a role model. Nothing he said, as far as what I'm concerned, is really misogynistic or more misogynistic than the average just person on YouTube, especially the wokies. You can take any male who happens to be woke or woke liberal. I guarantee they probably say more misogynistic things, right? Or he's making jokes, right? A lot of the stuff that he does is more character and comedy, right? Or maybe things that are said out of irony, and people take that as like valid, like, oh, this is what he means, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, come on, it's just a joke, right? Like if the same things people were saying about him, you could say about me because I crack a joke or call someone out their name, right? Like the same way women, when I go to debate them and have a conversation with them, are easy to point the finger and say I'm like this big scary male, right? And they just get away with it. People are doing that overall to Andrew Tate when he's had some of the most peaceful conversations and actually like really conveyed his points well, right? You just got to actually see those. But what we see is highlights and clips of the worst, right? Things out of context, right? This man has said some ridiculous shit that he joking. Do they ever show that when they show all the clips of the things that people could paint out as misogynistic? Nah, they never do, right? But everybody is allowed to have their opinions and stuff. For me, I find him to be extremely entertaining, right? And there's moments where he's giving great ass advice, right? But people don't want to listen to it because he said something that sounded misogynistic forever ago or something that might have hurt people's feelings, right? So for me, I take it for what it is.
A huge financial resource. It's easy to deem me a flight risk. So my liberty was.
And also, even if he's like, say he's like, oh, he's evil, he hates women, right? Or he's a misogynist. I still think it's whatever people's opinions are on him, it's still extremely unfair to arrest him, hold him without any kind of fucking evidence, right? And just keep him there. Like, that's foul, right? And that's scary that can happen.
Deprived. Only recently I was charged. This indictment appeared.
I want everybody at home to also understand that 3 different federal agencies from 3 different countries have investigated my life for the last 50
You said a great interview. Thank you. Appreciate the heck out of that. Guys, check out my interview. I got another interview coming out like in an hour. So check out my Real Talk with BXB Spoy channel, guys, where I do live streams and interviews.
15 months. Every photo I've ever taken, every video I've ever made, every conversation I've ever had, every phone call, 2,000 people.
Listen, you ain't got to. I know. I appreciate you. Hey, this is where we can have different opinions and just talk. You don't got to say no hate to. I know. And likewise, no hate or no shade towards you. I can tell you're joking. I can't tell easily with him. Yes, I think that is the issue. And when you watch his interview with Piers Morgan, he states that he acknowledges his mistakes with that. Like sometimes people didn't notice when I was being serious or when I was joking. And I think that's a huge issue, right? So with me, I try to take those as lessons and make it very, very clear, right? Shoot, probably over a year ago, maybe when I first started YouTube, it might not have been clear that I was joking with certain things, right? Because I know certain people are not from where I'm from, or maybe you've experienced certain things or grew up how I grew up, right? I'm just talking about just me being from the Bronx. So certain jokes are like inside jokes. So I understand that. So now I'm way better at making it clear. And I think that is an issue that Andrew Tate had. Is a lot of times when he's joking about some shit, a lot of people that weren't used to him or watched his stuff or just even understood that those kind of jokes, they understood it was a joke. So yeah, I can see that. I get your point.
Who know me were contacted. Every single ex-girlfriend, my vet, my pool guy, my old house cleaner at an apartment I used to have 11 years ago. You name them. If they had anything to do with me, no matter how tedious the link, they were contacted and they were interviewed. Hotlines were set up. Billboards were made. Has Andrew Tate ever hurt you? Do you have any information on Andrew Tate? The media was offering £50,000 for anybody who would give a negative story to me. Find another man who has hundreds of ex-girlfriends and not a single one of them rolled on me. Not a single one of them for money would say I'm a bad person. In fact, they would all say the opposite and defend me and stick up for me. You want to talk about a man of moral fiber? Find another man who can go through that. There's not another man on the street you can find whose ex-girlfriends who wouldn't turn on. The media, all over the news. Andrew Tate's the worst man that's ever been. Andrew Tate's a human trafficker. Andrew Tate's a crime boss. He's a crime lord. Andrew Tate has all this money from illicit activities. Every penny I've ever made, all of my bank accounts seized. 15 million euros of assets were taken from me. They've been through every single bank transfer that I've ever sent. All of it, head to toe, to put this indictment together. So when this indictment is finally created, it should be an opera, right? It should be Shakespeare. It should show money transfers, victims, old victims.
He's right. There would be more, right? You would assume if he's this crazy, you would assume, right? And I think a lot of it is misunderstanding. Like with me, I relate to what he's doing or what he's saying a lot, but I think that I might have been better at just conveying jokes, right? Like with him, if he hams it up and plays into the character in Andrew Tate, he's still Andrew Tate, right? There's no way to really clarify. With me, if I play into one of my characters like Garfield, I let it be known, right? I have a button that I press to tell people, hey, Garfield mode is activated. I'm about to wild out. Don't take it too serious, but this is for entertainment.
He's mad.
You're not giving me a chance.
I can't really control what he says. So yeah, like he doesn't have that, right? He doesn't have a button that says, hey, I'm about to play into this character when I'm really mean or I'm saying something and it's just a joke. You shouldn't be hurt by it, right? But I've learned from that, learned from his mistakes. He's not the only one. A lot of comedians have struggled with that or done things. He's not a comedian, but there's people who play into characters. Like, look what's going on with the whole Colleen Ballinger situation, right? Like people that make characters, if you don't do certain things, right, accordingly, or make it clear, hey, this is a joke, this is this and this, then yeah, you can run into a lot of issues down the line.
From long ago, videos, pictures, medical records. This indictment should be absolutely
get the Garfield treatment.
The indictment was put together. I was held for 6 months without charge. That's the longest possible time I can be held without charge. The day before they finally submitted this indictment, it took as much time as they could. They took it down to the wire every minute they could to get this indictment together. And now the indictment's been put in front of a judge. And what has the judge done? The judge has picked up this indictment, looked at it, and said, this is garbage, let him go.
Yeah, so you're saying that you heard that. Okay, that's Andrew Tate's argument. Now, I got to tell you guys, this is a weird topic to talk about because I feel like people are very divided on this issue of Andrew Tate, especially conservatives. And the reason why is because just recently, a lot of mainstream.
I think that like there's some interviews and conversations you might not have seen, right? Like right now in this moment, if I was, I would probably be pissed. So growth wouldn't probably be as visible. But then like before all these like allegations and all that shit, like when it got crazy, I remember seeing interviews. I'm telling you, watch the interview Just Pearly Things where him and that girl that went viral for being a hoe. What's her name? Brittany Renner. Is it Brittany Renner? Like she's known for just showing her booty and then known for trapping basketball players. I think it is Brittany Renner. I think it is because she went like super viral around that time. But yes, how is he able to sit there with her, someone who you think is like the anti him, who says, yes, girls, go out there and trick these basketball players into getting you pregnant and take advantage of them and then do this. How can he sit there across from her and have even her saying, you're right. I was wrong. I was tripping. In the most calm tone. It's because some of the stuff that you guys are seeing is just him playing a character and playing into certain jokes of what people perceive him as. All right. Or perceive it. It's no different from when I'm debating somebody and they say, oh, you're too stupid. And I go, yeah, I can't understand. Explain it for me, please. Obviously, I can understand. And I'm just playing into them saying something dumb. That's what he does. Oh, I'm a misogynist. Woman can't vote. That's something that's so fucking ridiculous. There's no way you can truly believe that he believes that. Not just him, guys. When Just Pearly Things says these shits, she does not mean for things to be that extreme. She just presents it that way so it can get clicks. The reason why you guys feel that way about him is because he wanted you to feel that way about him so he could get clicks. It's one of the oldest strategies in the book. Remember Tekashi 6ix9ine? You'll say something that's true and then just make it sound even worse. Make it sound ridiculous. Right? I don't like new wave feminists. I am not on here going off. I'll tell you, fuck feminism, especially new age. But I won't say women can't vote. They need to shut. But if you want me to break down certain complexities, especially involving the draft of how it's unfair that back then that women were not getting drafted, but yet had the same rights, I would say the easy solution is to draft women as well. But then someone like Just Pearly Things would say, women can't vote. Clearly being a joke to say the same thing that I'm conveying. She's just conveying it in a way to make you mad. And instead of get you to notice that it was unfair towards men. So you know what I'm saying? So he's doing the same thing, just put to the extreme. And it is getting the attention. It's kind of like, who was it? Tupac, right? Tupac has a famous quote. Don't quote me on it because I don't remember it exactly. But he said the reason why he used to wear tattoos, saying thug life and do all this gangster shit and wear jewelry and all that was because if he didn't do that, when he really wanted it to count and matter, and he tried to convey a lesson to the youth, they wouldn't listen to him because he doesn't appeal to them. That's kind of what Andrew Tate just said. he just, the clip that I just played or whatever, he just said that very exact thing that Tupac said. How am I going to get these young men to listen to the good messages that I have? Like I've heard Andrew Tate telling young men not to go out there and have sex with random women and to actually get to know certain women one by one, take your time, right? And to not be out here being a hoe. No one ever talks about him spreading that positive message between men. Get in shape, get your life together, work hard. We don't never talk about that, right? But in order to get these young men to listen to that, you might have to let off a few, these bitches is evil. You might have to let that slip a few times and then hit them with the, hey, man, you need to fix your financials. Maybe you should stop dating a bunch of different girls at the same time. Maybe it's smarter to work on your business and then date one girl. But then no one ever talks about Andrew Tate saying that or Just Pearly Things saying that. It's because it doesn't get the clicks. No one talks about Fresh and Fit. They literally, most of their streams are not those girls coming on stream. It's financial advice and business advice and how to be a better man, work out. but they never get spoken about for those. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Extreme conservatives have been attacking Tate. Some have been defending Tate, but a lot of people have been attacking Tate because, Tate seemingly on camera before in the past has admitted to basically being a pimp, right? He's made his money off of pornography, basically.
And I disagree with that. I rock with Black conservative. He didn't admit to being a pimp. And also the webcam business had more than just, I guess you could say as adult stuff, right? People were paying these chicks to talk to them, to type to them, right? Not all of it was that. And because you ran a business, is every boss of an establishment a pimp? Then I guess so. I guess I'm a pimp too, right? Because I'm a boss of my establishment. I just don't have no workers. It's just me. Yes, unless you count Garfield, I guess he works for me. Other than that, am I a pimp too? I guess I'm a pimp too as well. But yeah, I think people are over selling what he did with the webcam business. Whether Andrew Tate was there or not, those girls probably would still do the webcam business. And they were paid. Hoes don't get paid. I don't know if you know, hoes you don't pay hoes. Pimps don't pay hoes, bro. What, in fur jackets and new purses and some makeup and hair? What? No, they don't actually get physical money. They hand all of it over. He had to file tax paperwork for these women. How was he a pimp? He had to do tax information for them. Yes, I'm the employer and I'm paying them this amount. How is he a pimp? Pimps don't do that.
Seemingly taking advantage of women, even though I must admit that I don't think I've ever heard any real evidence to suggest that, Tate was holding women against their will or that, they couldn't stop working for them, even though he hypnotized them and, tricked them into working for him. I don't think I've ever seen anything, and I could be missing something here, right? There's a whole lot of stuff the man has said. There's a whole lot of things out there. I don't think I've ever seen anything to suggest that he was actually holding them against their will, right? Or that they could escape or leave or quit working for him. It seems to me that they kind of work for him under their own will, right? That's what they wanted to do. They liked the money they was making. I'm just saying, I don't know. But furthermore, he made money off of essentially exposing young men to things that even himself admits is not a good thing for young men. And a lot of conservatives just don't like it. Okay. But you do have some conservatives like, Candace Owens, and I'm not sure if you can call Tucker Carlson a conservative, but I think that he is for the most part. They've been kind of defending Andrew Tate, along with PBD as well, too, right? They've been kind of taking Tate's side. So there's kind of a conservative divide in regards to what to make of Andrew Tate and these allegations against him. And, there's mashups out there like this one I'm about to play of, people basically comparing what Andrew Tate is telling people.
Oh, this is about to be a matchup of the worst things you can say or put about him. And that's going to be that. He's about to be the worst things you can ever say or put mashed up to make it sound crazy.
People like, Candace Owens versus what he said before in the past. And they're basically, making an argument that Andrew Tate is lying and he's fooling conservatives into believing that he's somebody that, we should put on a pedestal when we shouldn't.
It was just an extract of something that you said that 10 years ago. Some of them were literally 10 years ago. Yep. So I do want you to contextualize this video that has been circulating on the internet of you talking about the lover boy method. So we'll take a look at that right now.
Sure. You cannot get a girl to work for you having fun. So the recruitment process is the same as the PhD course. You message them on Instagram. The PhD course is my recruitment system. I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not going to work. You continue as...
This will never change from the fact that all these girls have a choice. All of them. This is never going to change from that fact that all these girls have a choice. Freedom. You could say no. Some girls have. Some girls have.
As normal, no mention of webcam. You f*** the girl. After you f*** the girl, you do the PhD test. If she passes the PhD test and she wants to be with you, then you start mentioning things like,
Yeah, but you're always busy. You're always at work. You can come work for me.
Okay, so first question, when was this video taken?
Yeah, so this video is from 10 years ago, and this is me explaining how.
Yeah, I don't, like, I'm gonna be honest. You could say maybe he's crappy or whatever. He was, I don't know, anything besides criminal. I don't see any crime being done here. Maybe it's just me.
Being a webcam company, it's actually a larger video as a whole.
So, as I said, you cannot try and approach girls to do webcam. Hi, do you want to do webcam? It's bullshit. It doesn't work.
And it's explaining my general, overall, explains my life and how things are affected owning a pornography company, because obviously a lot of them we put off.
He said, quote unquote, he did see that, quote unquote. He didn't own a P company. That's not what that was.
Off by that.
No one's going to say yes. And any girl who does say yes is doing it. She doesn't like you. She doesn't know you. She doesn't love you. She's saying yes purely for money.
It doesn't.
What that sounds like, that exempts everything to me. That sounds like you're not manipulating nothing. That the only girls who would say yes to that are the ones that just want the money and not you. So how would you be using them liking you or loving you for any, that? How would people even be taking this out of context? I don't get it.
Explain. It doesn't say. I'd be very careful how I answer this question because I'm currently under an investigation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be very careful how I answer it. People are trying to chop it up and say that it says I am using the lover boy method to somehow convince women to do things they didn't want to do. This is obviously not the case.
No mention of webcam.
He said, yes, they have agency. I lost female friend because I said that Playboy bunnies had thing when she said they were used. Son, if you have yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's my point. That's my exact point. Like, yes, if they have their choice, like they don't talk about the benefits of being a Playboy model or like, oh, the other opportunities you could have got, right? They don't talk about none of this, or the amount of money that these girls were being paid to do little to nothing. They don't talk about that at all. I bet you these girls have houses, like nice cars, all types of stuff.
You the girl. After you the girl, you do the PhD test. So yeah, on corporatate.com, I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm
clever.
And
Clever.
That teaches basically how I got.
Oh, clearly he must be a pimp. Every rapper that ever said a PhD, pimp and hose degree, every rapper that ever said that is an actual pimp. Ice-T is an actual cop, right? All the crimes that has ever been said in rap lyrics, arrest him. Arrest him. throw the book at him,
Girls. How I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me.
Thank you, Doug.
Because that's what I did. That was my MO was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about not only getting girls, not only obtaining them, but retaining them. Because that's a completely different game as well. Mm-hmm. So I teach everything I know in there.
People are trying to chop it up and say that it says I am using the lover boy method to somehow convince women to do things they didn't want to do.
Oh, I don't want to do that. So, okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen, come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly.
Yeah, so you've seen that, you heard that. Very controversial, and I just want to be clear. I don't.
I get it why it's controversial, but if you're just asking me to just be honest, yeah, I don't see the issue. Like, I think that everyone has a choice. Like, you could have said no. You could have been like, nah, not for me. I'm not interested. It's just not something I want to do. Like, what? Like, why is that hard? And mind you, there are girls that probably was like, yeah, nah, it's not for me, bro. It's not something I'm trying to get into. Right. And he probably was like, no problem. He probably just accepted it and moved the hell on, bro. Like, what's wrong with people? That's crazy.
Don't think that's right. I don't think what Andrew Tate did to, basically, I guess, lure women into working for webcam is right. Yeah. I guess technically you can define what he did as trafficking. Okay, no. I guess.
No.
But, for me personally, I guess my main thing is...
No. No, that was not trafficking. That sounds crazy. Hell no, absolutely not.
Is that he didn't really force them to do anything, right? I mean, getting them over there and then basically making the women fall in love with him clearly is wrong if your intent is really to get them to perform sex work for you. Clearly that's wrong, okay? Clearly that should be condemned. Clearly that's not a moral thing to do. But again, my whole thing is, did he force them? Did he say, hey, look, you can't leave. You're going to have to stay here and I'm going to force you to do it.
Did he force them?
You know, you just have to do it and that's it.
If he didn't force them, what's the issue? That's my thing. If they were not forced, they had choices. They could have said no. They made money. He paid them. This was a job. I don't understand what's the issue. Right? I just don't see it.
I'm not seeing exactly where he did that or the evidence that that happened. But again, I could be missing something. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen everything. If somebody has that, I mean, clearly you can show me, right? But you know, Andrew Tate
in traffic, I think people they disagree with his opinions and they used that to try to get him off. Like, think about it. Like, yeah, some of the things he might have said while joking was crazy, but what about all the positive things he was saying? Why would they want to remove someone that was saying all of those things, bro? It's because they want men to be weak, bro. I'm going to call it spade a spade. They want men to be weak. That's what they're looking for.
It claims that he's innocent, okay, that he's not guilty of any of this stuff. So actually, let's read about what's going on.
Exactly. We all got free will.
Social media influencer Andrew Tate has been released from house arrest in Romania Friday as he awaits trial on rape and human trafficking charges. The Bucharest Court of Appeals in the Eastern European country's capital ruled that it, quote, places the house arrest measure with that of judicial control for a period of 60 days from August 4th until October 2nd, according to Reuters. Yeah, so Andrew Tate is celebrating this as if it's just a victory, even though he didn't win his trial. He's still going to have to go to trial. He could still...
he could still lose. So I don't know. But this might be a small sign that there could be a pending victory. But yeah, I wouldn't celebrate yet. I wouldn't celebrate until it's time to celebrate.
End up going to jail. But at least, again, he's not stuck in his house. Okay. Under the new measures, Tate, his brother Tristan, and two Romanian women who have been indicted on the charges can leave their homes, but not Bucharest and the surrounding Evolve County. The news agency reports, adding that they must check often with police and are restricted from visiting the alleged victims. Prosecutors said in June that the Tate brothers, who are dual British U.S. citizens, allegedly recruited 7 female victims, quote, by misleading them about the intention to establish a marriage/cohabitation relationship and the existence.
Where's the victims, bro? There's girls that were on that list of victims that have come out and said, I'm not no victim. Why did they even put me on this list? How are you trying to force someone to be a victim? You gonna force somebody to be a victim? Where's the girls? Where's the victims? Where's the victims that were forced? Where they at?
Real feelings of love, the lover boy method. The victims were later transported and housed in buildings in Evolve County, where they were subjected to acts of physical violence and mental coercion through intimidation.
Where are these victims, bro? That's what I need to see.
Constant surveillance, control, and invoking alleged debt.
Are they making the claim?
Again, I don't know, right? I don't know. This is something that has to be worked out in trial. I'm not taking a side, right? I'm not taking a side. I don't know, okay? Members of the group allegedly sexually exploited the victims.
I'm not taking a side either. I don't think there's any sides to be taken. I just want the truth. And right now, the other side is just looking really shaky. Right? It's looking real nasty.
Who were forced to perform.
But we'll see. Time will tell.
On acts on camera for dissemination on social media platforms, according to a statement from Romania's largest anti-organized crime agency, the Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism. The 4 defendants are accused of forming a criminal group in 2021 in order to commit the crime of human trafficking in Romania, as well as other countries such as the United States and Great Britain. Quote, we've been completely innocent since the beginning of this, and I have to give absolute faith to the Romanian judicial system for finding.
We'll see. We'll see. I got no faith in none of the systems.
Finally making the right decision of letting us free. Tate was quoted by Reuters as saying Friday outside of his home in Bucharest, quote, I'm sure in the end will be absolutely exonerated. A judge is currently reviewing files in the case before it heads to trial. Prosecutors have ordered the confiscation of the Tate brothers' assets, including 15 luxury cars, luxury watches, and about $3 million in cryptocurrency. DCOT statement.
They snatched everything. They snatched all of it. Damn.
Said in June. Tate, 36, has resided in Romania since 2017. The former professional kickboxer who has garnered millions of followers online promoting a luxurious alpha male lifestyle has completely claimed that Romanian prosecutors have no evidence and has alleged that the case is a political conspiracy designed to silence him. It's the Matrix is what he says, right? It's the Matrix. Tate spoke.
I do think the Matrix is after him though, bro. I got to call a spade a spade. Y'all said his videos be too long. Man, I like it because great content, man. That's why I ain't going front on my main channel. I've been trying to make shorter videos on my main channel because all my other channels I do long videos. So I've been trying to do shorter videos on my main channel for you guys.
Spokesperson Mattia Petruscu says the brothers are prepared to, quote, demonstrate their innocence and vindicate their reputation. Yeah, so again, do I know whether he's innocent or guilty? I really don't know, right? I think he definitely, at the very least, admitted to things on camera in a way that was not very smart. Okay, I understand he was trying to sell a program. Okay, he was trying to make money, but that's not something
I think that's where he messed up. A lot of his jokes and things was he was wilding.
Would have said on camera, right? And I just think he hasn't really made a lot of smart moves when it comes to that. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's guilty. I have no clue, right? I'm just following it until the end, right? And we can see, what the evidence is and, come to a conclusion from there. But I do think it's fascinating what we're seeing happen in conservative circles, which is that you have some conservatives like Candace, Tucker, PBD. I'm not sure, again, if I can call every one of those people conservative. Maybe they're more libertarian, more freedom leaning, more, I guess, red pill, right leaning or whatever, versus more traditional conservatives like, Ben Shapiro or a Michael Knowles, Ali Beth Stuckey.
Conservative beef over Andrew Tate? Pause. Giving out conservative beef is crazy. You understand? Giving out conservative beef is insane.
Like, I've seen all these people give their opinions on Tate, and there's a deep divide, okay? There's a deep divide. You see some of these people, they're turning on Pearl as well, too, right? They don't like what they see as extremism coming from the red pill, right? And they see people like Pearl.
The Pearl joint is crazy, bro. And I get it. Right, I don't believe in going to the extreme for anything, right? Which is why I detach my name from the whole red pill movement and man. I'm me, right? I'm me. I'm red pill for real in real life, like the books and shit before they even was on YouTube. But just the title of it, no, I'm just me.
Tate, fresh and fit as an embodiment of values that aren't really conservative, right? It's gone so extreme that it's not conservative anymore. It's like, it's red pill, right? It's not really conservative. It's a whole different kind of thing. Okay. And again, I just find it to be a fascinating thing that we're witnessing. And I do find it to be very thought provoking to think about both sides of the issue here in regards to the people that are low key kind of defending Tate and the people that are attacking Tate, specifically from the conservative point of view, in the conservative circles, because again, it is fascinating because there is a lot of overlap with the red pill and conservative.
Yeah, to some degree, right? I think that conservative people, when they hear certain things that just don't sound idiotic, you know what I mean? Common sense, right? When the conservative people hear common sense, they go, "Oh, so maybe I should listen to this." It doesn't always mean that the person is conservative, right? They're just saying some common sense shit. It's just that we're so used to the left saying a bunch of nonsense that common sense sound good
stuff. And again, I think you're seeing the divide happen here with Tate. So it remains to be seen whether or not the guy is, or whether he will be found to be guilty or innocent. I think either way, people are going to have their own opinions just based off what he admitted to doing on camera in regards to basically getting women to, work for him in ways that I think we all can agree is not the most moral thing to do. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
He was wilding with his statements for sure. But we'll see. Time will tell. It's just a lot of stuff seems fishy with that. It seems real fishy. Shout outs to Black Conservative Perspective, man. Dope channel. Really dope channel. I rock with him.